Hello and welcome to episode 9 of my trophy guide for Final Fantasy XVI. We now have access to the icon of Bahamut, but more about this later. First we will visit Blackthorn to craft Brightburn, which will increase our offense. Then follow the story until we have spoken with Harpocrates.
To what do I owe the honour? So, will it be? Should last you a good while.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
There's a storm coming soon. Will there be thunder?
We can now talk to Harpocrates again and check out the 1000 tomes. At this point he will reach level 5 and unlock the trophy The More You Know. Then continue following the story and fast travel to the Dalimil Inn.
Now this, I believe you will find most interesting. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
To take care of this request we only have to run around and talk to a few people. Then take out a few waves of enemies at the northern gate, which includes another assassin type mini-boss. Fast travel to Javosht once you are done.
What's he doing here?
Picture it, Conrad.
My shop. Why would anyone?
If I had my pickaxe, I would.
I mean, it may still be possible.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
They mean to overwhelm us.
Stay down!
From here we can now make our way to Notorious Mark 14 out of 32 nearby, the 10 of Clubs. This is another brute type miniboss without any notable new moves. Its new move, Pen Forte, is easily avoided by just waiting for the ground to explode and then continuing your onslaught. Once the enemy is dealt with, we fast travel to the Valkyrie Desert.
This won't be easy.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
I can walk from here.
Forsaken soul, eh? Only those who have nothing left. So empty your pockets.
We now go to complete our first Chronolith trial. There are 7 of these, 1 for each icon, and they have us go through 4 waves of enemies while giving us different loadouts of abilities from that icon. They are probably the toughest challenge of the base game, since these are timed. However, there are only really 2 trials that are actually challenging. This trial, the Hand of Titan, unsurprisingly represents the icon of Titan. Note that each stage has slightly varying bonus conditions which will increase your timer. Most of these are very basic conditions though and will be met automatically by just defeating all the enemies. This trial I managed to complete on my second attempt with over 2 minutes to spare. Knowing when to use what abilities makes all the difference, so I will guide you through every individual wave of enemies throughout all 4 stages. Feel free to pause the game in between waves of enemies.
Alright. This one's awake. Let's see what's inside.
Stage 1 gives us Upheaval and Raging Fists. You already know how Upheaval works. Raging Fists is a counter ability which can be used by itself, but deals much more damage when used right before you are hit by an enemy's attack. Quickly dispose of Wave 1 with Upheaval. Wave 2 also consists of several trash mobs, which is a little annoying since we just used Upheaval. Here you can try using Raging Fists to get a counter which increases your timer by 12 seconds. But you can also just take out the enemies with your sword. Note that a mortal blow used on a downed enemy gives you a few seconds as well. Finally, if you ever get lucky with a perfect Titan block, then make sure to follow it up with a counter as it deals a lot of damage. You can also use your limit break here to save more time. Wave 3 has you fight a Gigas type miniboss. Just use your abilities and then your regular combo during downtime. Try to land your Raging Fist counter, but I don't do so and I am still fine. Stage 2 gives us Upheaval and Wind-Up. Wind-Up works like Upheaval in that you have to hold the move until the circle reaches the red part. However, this move performs a strong punch in a straight line and deals a lot of damage to whatever is in front of you. Wave 1 spawns some trash mobs and an Adamantoise. Use both abilities on the Adamantoise, the smaller enemies should just die in the process. In fact, do not focus on the smaller enemies at all. Finishing them with Upheaval grants bonus time. Stop using Upheaval when the Adamantoise is close to death. We want to use it to clear Wave 2. Wave 2 spawns a few more trash mobs, so use Upheaval to take them out. Wave 3 spawns a Brute and 3 bombs. This plays out just like Wave 1. Only focus on the Brute and the bombs should die to Upheaval. Remember to use your limit break as well. Stage 3 gives us Earthen Fury and Wind-Up. Earthen Fury deals massive damage to all enemies in a large radius around us. It is basically a much more powerful Upheaval, but also has an extremely long recharge time. Wave 1 spawns a Panther miniboss and some goblins. Focus on the Panther first and take it out with Wind-Up and melee attacks. Do not use Earthen Fury here. That might make Wave 1 take longer, but you will see it pay off later. The Panther moves around a lot and there is no great opening to use Wind-Up. Optimally, you want him to miss or to even get a perfect evasion. Pick off the goblins once the Panther is dead. Wave 2 spawns 6 orcs, which we can take out instantly with Earthen Fury, which also increases the timer by over 1.5 minutes. Wave 3 spawns a Flan and Assassin miniboss. Focus on the Flan first, as it is by far the easier of the two to take down. Use your limit break against the Assassin, as that makes it easier to keep up with its movements. Wind Up will take over half of their health if you connect. Stage 4 gives us Earthen Fury and Raging Fists. This stage always only consists of a boss fight, and sadly this is possibly the worst loadout for us. Raging Fists can be very powerful and recharges rather quickly, but it is also quite tricky to use properly. I use it 3 times during this fight and only managed to get the counter to work once. When it comes to Earthen Fury, it is actually best to keep this for a stagger, since we won't be able to use it more than once anyways. Combine it with Limit Break and it will deal a ton of damage. Completing your first Chronolith trial will also unlock the Trial Run trophy. We have to complete all 7 trials to obtain a curiosity for another trophy. Now fast travel to Martha's Rest. Open your abilities menu and upgrade Wings of Flight and learn Gigaflare. Switch Rising Flames to Upheaval and then equip Bahamut as your 3rd icon. Equip Gigaflare and make sure Lightning Rod is mastered so it stays on Bahamut. Then continue the story. While until now we used Lightning Rod into Ignition as our go-to stagger tactic, we now have Gigaflare, which is one of the most powerful iconic abilities in the game. But more about that later. For now, we actually want to use the upcoming enemy encounters to pick up both trophies related to Bahamut's iconic feat, Wings of Light, so let me explain how it works. When pressing circle, we will start hovering and slowly charging Mega Flare. It will charge slightly faster when standing still. If we get hit, we land and the gauge starts decreasing. We can still dodge while charging, which slows down the charge for a second. We can also perform a perfect dodge, which is called a Mega Flare dodge, which instantly fills the gauge by a large amount. Since we have upgraded our feat, we can charge it up to level 4. You can at any point press circle to use Mega Flare, which has several projectiles coming down from the sky. The higher the level, the more plentiful the projectiles. We need to perform 3 Mega Flare dodges before reaching Mega Flare level 4, without getting interrupted in the process. I failed to pick this up during the first encounter and the second one is not very well suited for it. The best strategy for this is to constantly keep moving and spamming R1, as this slows down the charge and gives us the most amount of time to get 3 perfect dodges.
Mad dogs, a lot of them.
During this fight, I will show you how we use the Giga Flare ability. It can reach a very high damage output, so we want to preserve it for staggers for now. Place down your lightning rod, activate Limit Break and then use Giga Flare followed by Ignition to deal a ton of damage.
You're finished!
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others may be ready.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything? Only the first round, so wait. Shall we?
Here I now pick up the trophy Such Dodge So Mega for performing 3 Mega Flare dodges while charging a single Mega Flare. Again, you have to do this before reaching Mega Flare level 4. I have tested this and dodges after reaching level 4 do not count. I also pick up the 100 MFPS trophy for hitting 100 individual Mega Flare projectiles. You will most likely also pick this up by trying to obtain the other trophy. With this we have completed another request, which also unlocks Curiosity 5 out of 22 Guardian's Scarf. From here we can now make our way towards the next Chronolith trial, the Hand of Hyperion. We will be picking up another ability trophy during this trial. The time restraint does allow for this, but if it seems too risky you can also always pick up this trophy later. Stage 1 gives us Scarlet Cyclone and Rising Flames, which you are already familiar with. Wave 1 spawns in 5 orcs, which you can chip down with Scarlet Cyclone. Hitting multiple enemies with Scarlet Cyclone also gives you a 12-second boost. Feel free to also use Rising Flames here to speed up the process. Wave 2 spawns in 6 more trash mobs, 2 of which are flying. Use Scarlet Cyclone like before for 12 bonus seconds and deal with the flying enemies using Phoenix Shift. Wave 3 consists only of an Avis, which we can focus down aggressively with the use of Limit Break and both abilities. Stage 2 gives us Scarlet Cyclone and Heatwave. Heatwave works just like Raging Fists, in that it is a counter ability. However, instead of physical attacks, this one counters only magical ranged attacks. Wave 1 spawns a Guardian miniboss, which we can focus down with both abilities. Thanks to Scarlet Cyclone, most of the 4 smaller enemies should go down in the process. Only use Heatwave once, so it is up again when we enter Wave 2. Wave 2 spawns in 4 crabs and 3 spheres. Feel free to take out the crabs, but do not attack the spheres for now. To obtain our next trophy, we want to perform a Heatwave counter twice in a single battle. As I said, you can also pick this up later if you are struggling with the timing. Here is just the most convenient. Take some distance to the spheres so you have more time to react, and use Heatwave right before their projectiles hit you. Also make sure the spheres are not close together. As you can see, I almost killed them all with a single Heatwave counter. You will have to wait for the ability to recharge once, so take out the crabs before picking up the Packing Heat trophy. Wave 3 spawns in a Cannoneer miniboss and 2 bees. Focus on the miniboss first, and the bees will probably die in the process. Pick them off with Phoenix Shift if not. You can also counter some of the Cannoneer's attacks with Heatwave, but I prefer just using it whenever it is up. Stage 3 gives us Flames of Rebirth and Heatwave. You are already familiar with Flames of Rebirth as well. Wave 1 spawns in a Flan type miniboss and 4 smaller enemies. Hold Flames of Rebirth for now and only use Heatwave to take out the Flan. You can counter some of its attacks, but again I just use it whenever it's up. Use Limit Break to clear up the smaller enemies, as they will probably not die from fighting the Flan. Wave 2 spawns 6 trash mobs, which can be taken out in an instant with Flames of Rebirth. Wave 3 spawns in an Undertaker and Lich miniboss. Focus on the Undertaker first, and here I actually use Heatwave counter a few times, since the Lich's projectiles are just very obvious. Try to do this as well. Otherwise, make heavy use of Limit Break, since we won't have access to Flames of Rebirth again. Stage 4 gives us Flames of Rebirth and Rising Flames to fight the boss of this trial, another plague-type enemy. Use Rising Flames whenever possible and keep Flames of Rebirth for when the enemy gets staggered, to use in combination with Limit Break. This is the only trial where my timer drops below 30 seconds, which is because I wasted some time to get the trophy earlier. This trial also has terrible bonus objectives, but overall you should still be able to get through this relatively comfortably. Now fast travel to Port Isolde so we can take out Notorious Mark 15 out of 32, the Mageth brothers.
Ready, go? Yeah!
This is a trio of brute-type mini-bosses. They have some new moves, but none of them are particularly interesting. What I suggest you do is to place a lightning rod between them, and then position yourself so that you can hit the lightning rod as well as several of the enemies with a single Giga Flare. Apart from that, just use your other abilities to take them out easily. Next, we fast travel to Northreach and continue the story there, which again has us talk to several NPCs around town before taking out a bunch of enemies at the Gates of Mor. This includes another Lich-type miniboss.
First we find Isabel.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oriflamme under a flood.
Then we're next.
I can't do it. But you can. Four left for more on the captain's orders. With no one to defend the place.
I'm sorry, darling.
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Before we could even draw his steel.
Look!
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength.
Now leave Northreach through the north exit and to make our way towards our next Chronolith trial, the Hand of Mimas.
Those things I said before. About...
You needn't fret. The creatures have been killed.
Come on. Run like the wind.
We're not alone.
Straight home now.
Stage 1 gives us Satellite and Flare Breath. The Satellite ability spawns 2 orbs that will shoot the surrounding enemies whenever we use any kind of magic. Flare Breath emits a stream of flames in front of us over an extended period of time, which pulls in enemies close to the attack. Wave 1 spawns in 5 weaker enemies. Our best option here is to use Satellite followed by Flare Breath. Flare Breath will keep the enemies in place and deal some damage while we spam triangle to constantly use Satellite Fire. This won't be the fastest way to dispose of the enemies, but it should reward you with more bonus time. Wave 2 spawns in 6 more trash mobs, and here we want to repeat the same strategy as soon as the abilities are back up. Flare Breath alone is also fine, as these enemies are very weak and will die from that alone as well. It will just take a little longer. Wave 3 spawns in a Flan type miniboss. Flare Breath is absolutely and completely useless against bosses and minibosses, so do not even waste your time. Only use Satellite combined with Limit Break. Remember that our general strategy during Limit Break is to just spam square. This of course won't do here, as this will not activate the satellites. Instead we use our regular combo to charge our magic during melee attacks and shoot whenever it is charged, even within Limit Break. Stage 2 gives us Satellite and Impulse. Impulse spawns 4 orbs that home in on surrounding enemies and continuously deal damage and stagger damage. Over time they will turn golden and can be manually detonated by using the ability again. This explosion will deal the most damage when performed while the orbs are golden. Wave 1 spawns a Lich type miniboss and 4 weaker enemies. The strategy for all 3 waves during this stage is the exact same, since both Satellite and Impulse are just as useful against smaller enemies as they are against larger ones. We will therefore simply be aggressive with our regular melee combo and use both abilities whenever they are up. Use Limit Break when it is full and preferably against minibosses. Wave 2 spawns in 3 raptors and 2 goblins. 3 spawns in a brute miniboss and 5 flying mobs. Flying enemies are actually quite the problem since we have no means of pulling them towards us or getting up there. We will want to either focus on them first using the satellite ability, or make sure that either of your abilities is up after taking out the miniboss. Stage 3 gives us Giga Flare and Impulse. Wave 1 spawns in a Guardian miniboss and 4 weaker enemies. Immediately open with Giga Flare to chip down the miniboss and then use Impulse. Again, we simply want to use Impulse whenever possible. Continue being very aggressive. Wave 2 spawns in 6 trash mobs. Take them out with your usual combo and Impulse. Hold Giga Flare for the next wave once it is back up. Wave 3 spawns a Cannoneer and Dragon miniboss. Again, feel free to use Impulse whenever, and wait for both bosses to line up so that we can use Giga Flare on both enemies at once. Landing the entire Giga Flare will almost one-shot both enemies. It also has the nice byproduct of charging your limit gauge extremely quickly, so use it to finish this stage. Stage 4 gives us Giga Flare and Flare Breath to fight the boss of this trial, another Warlord. Activate Limit Break if you have some left and then use Giga Flare right away to have it back towards the end of the fight. Then just use your usual attack combo. Don't even bother with Flare Breath. It is completely useless in this fight. I also tried out using Mega Flare here since I felt comfortable with my remaining time limit, but this only actually saves time if you manage to pull off multiple Mega Flare dodges. Only do this if you are confident. This Warlord also now knows the move Rictus of Horror. Make sure to watch out for that one and dodge sideways to avoid it. The Ring of Timely Evasion dodges this most of the time, but it can fail and you will take a lot of damage. Use Giga Flare once it is up again and that should be the fight.
Farewell.
Now we fast travel to Caer Norvin Glorious Gate and make our way through Mornbroom to reach the strongest of all Notorious marks, 16 out of 32, Svarog.
Good girl.
Yeah!
You deserve a rest.
The most notable part of this enemy is its variety of big and flashy powerful moves, but none of those are particularly dangerous. Just keep in mind that this thing is over 10 levels higher than we are and will probably kill us in just a few hits. But by keeping it safe and only using our big abilities after it uses its attacks, we will be fine. And that is honestly about it. This fight will mainly just take a while due to the enemy's mountain of health. Once this enemy is defeated, we fast travel to Caer Norvin River Gate.
Come on. Run like the wind. Thanks, Gal. Bahamut!
Next up is our fourth Chronolith trial, the Hand of Iapetus. Stage 1 gives us Thunderstorm and Piledrive, both of which you are already familiar with. Wave 1 spawns in 7 trash mobs, so use Piledrive and try to hit as many of them as possible. Finish off the rest with your regular combo. You can also use Thunderstorm here if any enemy ends up being at full health and far away from you. We only need Thunderstorm again for Wave 3. Wave 2 spawns in 7 more enemies, 2 of which are flying. Piledrive is probably not back up by now, so just keep using your regular combo. Use Piledrive once it is available, preferably to take out the flying enemies. Alternatively, you can also take them out of the air by shooting them with magic. Wave 3 spawns an Avis miniboss, which we simply want to pressure with all abilities whenever they are up. Combine this with Limit Break if possible. Stage 2 gives us Lightning Rod and Pile Drive. Wave 1 spawns in a Bighorn miniboss and 2 lesser enemies. Bighorn enemies are fairly tame. Their only noteworthy characteristic is that they like to charge. Place a lightning rod close to it and then use Pile Drive for maximum effect. Optimally, you would want the enemies to hit the lightning rod. The best we can do to influence that is to stay close to the rod and hope this does not end up wasting time. If Pile Drive is up again before wave 2 starts, then do not use it yet. Wave 2 spawns in 6 trash mobs including 2 flying enemies. Try to hit as many enemies as possible with Pile Drive and finish off the rest with your regular combo. Keep Lightning Rod for the next wave. Wave 3 spawns in a Flan-type miniboss and 4 bombs. Place your lightning rod and try to position yourself in a way that places the rod between you and the miniboss. With a little bit of luck and another use of Pile Drive, the bombs will all die by just fighting the Flan. Don't forget to use Limit Break as well. Stage 3 gives us Lightning Rod and Judgment Bolt. Judgment Bolt simply deals massive damage to one enemy while dealing moderate damage to enemies very close to the target. It also has a rather long recharge time. Wave 1 spawns an Undertaker-type miniboss and 4 lesser enemies. Go in and place your Lightning Rod next to the miniboss and then use Judgment Bolt right away. This should also strike the Lightning Rod, taking out the smaller enemies around you while dealing a lot of damage to the Undertaker. Stay close to the rod to have the miniboss take itself out and then pick off the remaining mobs.
It's over.
Wave 2 spawns in 5 weak enemies. Use Limit Break to speed things up and take out all of them. We want Lightning Rod back during the final wave. Wave 3 spawns in a Panther and Guardian miniboss. Place your Lightning Rod near the Guardian and focus on it first. Use Judgment Bolt on the Panther when it is back up, since this enemy takes more time to kill otherwise. Stage 4 gives us Thunderstorm and Judgment Bolt to fight the boss of this trial, a Griffin. Be aggressive and use Thunderbolt and Limit Break whenever possible, preferably together. Use Judgment Bolt once the boss gets staggered, since you won't be able to use it more than once during the fight. I did not know this at the time and still comfortably got through the fight. This is certainly one of the easier trials. fast travel to the hideaway, and for now we go back to following the story.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Now follow me around the hideaway to start the side quests On Balance and read the letter A Humble Request to start another side quest called Smooth Like Butler. Then talk to Goots to start the side quest An Eye for an Eye.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Now follow me further to finish the side quest On Balance and progress An Eye for an Eye.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they
What do you reckon we should do?
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until it's slaughtered.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Our next destination are the cross-cheat echoes from where we will make our way towards Tabor. On the way there, we will come across the second out of 3 additional side quests called Bad Blood. This is the slowest out of the 3, taking up to 2 minutes to complete, but still lies directly on our path and requires no backtracking. To complete it, we only have to take out an enemy encounter and then talk to someone nearby. Afterwards, we will continue our journey to Tabor.
The 4 of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canville was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they would allow it, the Echoes have a will of their own.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
Thanks, Gal. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Good. I got here in time.
Someone there! Please, I can't move my leg!
That doesn't sound like an Akashic.
Faster!
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
We can now fast travel again, so open your map and travel to Martha's Rest, where we want to speak with Rutherford to progress his quest. Then fast travel to the Dellingle Inn.
My lord.
Here we now want to progress the side quest An Eye for an Eye by talking to Goods nearby and then taking out the enemies in the southern Valkyrie Desert. Nothing noteworthy here.
Shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
Are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch.
Could be.
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch. What a mess.
Now they'll be numbered.
You fought very bravely. The safety of the town is in our hands.
No use calling Ambrosia now. Good girl. Time to brave the Viper's Nest. Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Next we take out the group of enemies harassing one of Rutherford's colleagues nearby. Again, nothing noteworthy going on.
Ambrosia won't help me here. Run like the wind. Someone's got himself in trouble.
Next up is a trip to Northreach, where we want to help out Rutherford's other colleague. This also includes us taking out a bunch of bandits, including a brute miniboss, which is easily taken care of.
Come on. Faster! Run like the wind. They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Now we only have to fast travel back to Martha's Rest, where we can wrap up the side quest Smooth Like Butler. This is yet another quest required to unlock more quests later on. Fast travel to the hideaway, where we can also complete the side quests An Eye for an Eye, which rewards Curiosity 6 out of 22 Continental Sensor. Make your way back to Tabor and leave the settlement in the direction of our next story objective, only to take a right turn at the next junction towards Notorious Mark 17 out of 32, the Pack.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you is bold?
Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free
here.
in the sea.
Come on.
Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
these enemies count as regular enemies that just have more health than normal. Therefore, you can use Ignition to drag them along. Use your remaining abilities to take them out and then make your way to the next story marker.
Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy?
Let us be rid of them.
Don't get surrounded.
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
Reaching this point unlocks yet another batch of side quests, so let's go and take care of those. First we fast travel to Lostwing, where we want to complete the side quest for Great Justice 2. This has us make our way to Arabelle Downs and then fast travel to the Dragon's Eyrie.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't...
You know what you... Those who cannot join us in the coming fight are gathered at...
Come then, brother.
We are awaited in Gotan's Bales.
Not here. No need to ride from here.
Follow me to Haven Hall, where we take out another Curl mini-boss, followed by a gauntlet of Akashic soldiers to finish this quest, which unlocks the Hanged Man signboard, being signboard 1 out of 6 and Curiosity 7 out of 22.
Time to fight.
Clive, look.
No. Don't tell me we're too late. Come on, then.
That is no more guard dog.
No. beast that needs to be put down. It's not going to last long in there. Then we finish this quickly. I need to find Quentin.
Now we can travel back to Northreach, where a new door has opened. Make your way through the cellar we have visited back in Chapter 2 to find Notorious Mark 18 out of 32 Holy Trumpitour. This Cannoneer-type enemy now has access to a few new moves like Recoil, but they are not really worth taking note of. The only bothersome move is still his fiery cone attack, which it rarely even uses.
Purge them of their sin!
Next up is the side quest Rekindling the Flame, back at Martha's Rest. This side quest has us fast travel to Eastpool and take out a few enemies there, including a Flan-type miniboss. Then report back to Martha to finish the quest. This is yet another prerequisite for another later side quest.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first.
Who the hell are you? Tell them! You will leave me.
That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes to...
Eastpool lives...
The last side quest for now is located in Bocklat, so go there and start trading places. Afterwards we travel to Letney's Cleft and use the newly opened path to reach the last currently available Chronolith trial, the Hand of Dione.
Let's go. Yeah! Thanks, girl.
Stage 1 gives us Wicked Wheel and Gouge, both of which we are already familiar with. Wave 1 spawns in 6 trash mobs, so try to get as many of them with Wicked Wheel as possible. You can also attempt to pull more towards you with Deadly Embrace. You can also use Gouge when several enemies are standing close together to hit them both at once. It is not a particularly powerful ability when it comes to just damage, but hitting multiple enemies is still worth it. This trial is also the simplest one, as pulling an enemy towards us and then performing our regular combo grants us 8 seconds each time, meaning you could technically go through all trash mob encounters slowly and still increase your timer. Wave 2 spawns 5 more trash mobs, so just repeat the previous step. Try to have both abilities up for the last wave. Wave 3 spawns a Minotaur-type miniboss. Use Gouge to deplete their posture and use Wicked Wheel whenever possible. Don't forget to use Limit Break as well. Stage 2 gives us Wicked Wheel and Rook's Gambit. As you might remember, Rook's Gambit is a counter ability that deals a lot more damage when performed right before getting hit by an enemy's attack. Wave 1 spawns an Avis miniboss and 3 smaller flying enemies. Use both abilities to take down the miniboss. As for the smaller enemies, you can either take them out with a Wicked Wheel while fighting the miniboss, or leave them alive so you can take them down with a Deadly Embrace into melee combo to increase your timer.
Nice try.
Wave 2 spawns only 4 trash mobs, which you can take down with your abilities followed by Deadly Embrace combos. Wave 3 spawns an Assassin miniboss and 3 weaker enemies. Just do what you did so far while also being mindful of the enemy's cut-on move. Use your abilities, preferably to take out multiple enemies at once, and then go back to your regular combo. Do not forget that you have access to Limit Break as well. Stage 3 gives us Aerial Blast and Rook's Gambit. Aerial Blast conjures an enormous twister that slowly follows the targeted enemy while dealing low amounts of damage but high amounts of posture damage. It also has a very long cooldown. Wave 1 spawns a bighorn miniboss and 3 lesser enemies. Cast Aerial Blast right away, targeting the miniboss, and then keep up the pressure with regular attack combos. During this entire stage, you are always free to use Rook's Gambit, as I will only occasionally use it, since this ability is only of actual use when performed as a proper counter. Wave 2 spawns in 6 trash mobs that you can all take down with Deadly Embrace combos to increase your timer. Wave 3 spawns a Wind Elemental and Gigas miniboss. Aerial Blast will probably be back towards the end of this fight, so use it whenever possible. Otherwise, just rely on your regular combo here as well and use Rook's Gambit and try for perfect counters.
Farewell.
Stage 4 gives us Aerial Blast and Gouge to fight the boss of this trial, a Curl. Both of these abilities only deal a lot of stagger damage, so use them whenever they are up, preferably when the boss is not staggered. This loadout does not give you any additional tools to really make use of those staggers, so just use Limit Break and your regular combo while waiting for the abilities to recharge. Our next destination is the abandoned fishing village, where we take out all the enemies. Fast travel back to Boklat afterwards to complete the side quest, which is required to unlock another side quest later.
Must have been a nice place once.
It will be again.
I think that's...
Now we fast travel to our next main story objective and the next major dungeon, the Free Cities of Canver. First we open our abilities menu and reset Rising Flames, since we are not using this right now anyways. This lets us upgrade Gigaflare, which will result in even higher damage output. Now, despite being a major dungeon, this one is actually rather short. We will go through roughly 4 encounters. Most of them feature a large group of enemies, but they can all be dealt with quickly and will most likely already be dead once you are done with the mini-boss of the group. You will come across an Assassin, Brute and Warlord, none of which are anything new to you by now. Only watch out for the Katon and Rictus of Horror of the Assassin and Warlord respectively. Also note that several of these next areas feature multiple enemies that can be grouped together by just running past the first cluster of them. This saves a lot of time overall since, as I said, you will be able to take out more enemies through collateral damage of your abilities.
to the Royal Army. There's nothing but monsters here. Mistakes. Nice try. Where the city's leaders gather, there may still be survivors inside. Where are they? These creatures. Does Ultima's rage extend this far? What the hell is going on here?
Bahamut! You're finished. Where is your master? What does he want?
Here we face Sleipnir. This is yet another boss eligible for the Damageless Boss trophy. This boss is fast and loves to teleport around, which makes it very difficult to be aggressive. There will be a cutscene very early on, which allows us to go all out right away without waiting for a stagger. Wait for Sleipnir to perform his lunge, after which he has his sword in front of him to place your lightning rod and blast him with Gigaflare. Then wait for more openings, which are all indicated with that same pose to bring down Sleipnir to around 3/4 of his health.
Forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Mythos. Yes! Yes!
After the cutscene, Sleipnir will not have a restored posture bar, which means you can stagger him quickly and then unload all your abilities into him again. Around half health he will use Dead Man's Spear. You cannot damage Sleipnir during its casting time, but he will be open for several seconds afterwards. He also gets the move Ratatoskr, which has him go through an attack combo that ends by thrusting his spear forward. This also leaves him open briefly. Back at the hideaway, we now follow the story until we complete the subquest, Like Father, Like Daughter.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi. What will happen?
How are we supposed to do our...
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, then do you think Mid's ship will ever sink? So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. What would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with Akashic and the valleys are full of ether?
Now follow me around to start and progress the side quests Tears of Mercy and Blacksmith's Blues 3.
Cole said it was an army of Akashic. What will happen to Mid and the others? Cole said it was an army of Akashic. What will happen to Mid and the others?
Here at the Black Hammer we can now also craft the Rune Blade +1, which can be reinforced into the Rune Blade +2 to increase our offense. Then follow me once more to start another side quest. Please sir, can I have some Morbol?
He's a surly soaker.
Now fast travel to Northreach, from where we make our way west to slay some spiders, which is required to progress Tears of Mercy.
No use calling Ambrosia now. Rodrigo could have mentioned his spiders would be the size of curls.
Next up is a stop in the Three Reeds. Here we can find the target Morbol, which is also Notorious Mark 19 out of 32, Carrot.
Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia.
This is just another Morbol without any noteworthy new moves. Just remember that when its tentacles are out, being too aggressive might backfire. Our next objective lies in Ravosht, so follow me there to progress Blacksmith's Blues 3, which eventually has us take out an Avis nearby. I will see you once it is defeated.
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut your hole.
Mama, why hasn't Papa come back yet?
No use calling Ambrosia now. Let's make this quick, shall we? Be safe.
Close to here, we can now find Notorious Mark 20 out of 32, Dread Comet.
Come on. Run like the wind. deserve a rest.
This perilous bird counts as a regular enemy and is taken out quite easily with our iconic abilities. Once it reaches low health, it will cast Choco Meteor Rain, which all it does is make it more difficult to land our hits safely. Fast travel back to Travosh after taking out this silly chicken and resume the side quest from before.
What's this all about then?
Next, we travel back to the hideaway where we can finish up all 3 previously started side quests. Make sure to speak with Tarja after completing Tears of Mercy to obtain Curiosity 8 out of 22, Medicine Chest.
Cole said it was an army of Akashic. What will happen to Mid and the others?
Completing Blacksmith's Blues 3 unlocks the Ouroboros armor pieces, which you are free to craft if you want to. And finally, please sir, can I have some Morbol, maxes out our consumables potency, meaning our potions will now heal even more.
He's a surly soaker.
It is finally time to wrap up this episode, so follow the story markers once more and take out the next wave of enemies, which also includes another brute mini-boss. There will be 2 sections for this fight, the second of which solely depends on a countdown, meaning we do not actually have to fight anything then.
I'll take care of these fuckers. Behind you! I'll have you know earthbreaking here once.
about that offer, Cap? How are we doing, Mitch? I thought you said that ship was fast!
Don't let the coffin be turned. Without the pay, and I'll stand back with it.
Have care, my friends. 'Tis not blood that runs through an Eddie's veins. These foes will not fall easily.
But they will fall. Like oaks before a woodman's axe. Good thing I brought one!
How long are we meant to keep this up?
As long as it takes. Unless you have a better idea.
Well, I've already killed at least 5 of the bastards. Fuck it! Let's do the lot! Should we make for the ship?
Not yet. Wait for my signal.
In your own time, Clyde!
Right, run for it! Mate!
Alright, engine full ahead! And hold on tight!
This dungeon is another rather short one, not featuring any new enemies. We will have to fight our way through the ship, taking out an assassin and brute mini-boss on the way. Watch out for the Assassin's Katon, and that is really about it. I will see you when we face the main boss of this chapter. We now face Barnabas. This is also another fight eligible for the Damageless Boss trophy. This fight has quite a few similarities to Sleipnir, as this boss also moves and teleports a lot. Annoyingly, Barnabas can also randomly deflect both your melee and iconic attacks, completely negating them. However, during this fight we actually only have to bring down Barnabas to roughly 2/3 of his health. Just be aggressive and don't worry too much about his attacks. Most of them are not very powerful, and those that are, like the Lord's Measure, have a very clear and lengthy wind-up. All attacks are avoidable without any trouble.
Still found you. Lacking. All this fire and fury, for what? Stopping the blight. A foolish notion fed to you by a foolish man. How dare you? You know naught of this world nor of our place in it.
Once you reach the mentioned threshold of damage, Barnabas will start charging Iron Flesh. This is a certain death move and completely unavoidable. This fight will always result in a forced loss, even should you manage to completely reduce the purple bar. Completing this fight will unlock the Promised Trophy and ends this chapter. Enjoy the long unskippable cutscene. I will see you in the next episode.
This is the light of hope severed. You would yield so soon.
Never.
Clive!
Do you not see? Your iron will weighs you down, dragging you ever further from your purpose.
And what is my purpose?
Mythos. Who are we? What are the dominants? The breath of the Creator still warm on our lips. We carry his light that we might guide the masses in his name. We are but mighty acts of God.
We are more than that.
You would be nothing without what he has granted you. The power we wield is his, and yet every time we draw upon it, it wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us, that its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon. It is too much for even his chosen few. Apart from you, Mythos, you wield the might of many, yet your body does not answer for its avarice.
What are you saying?
What I am saying is that we dominants are a means to an end. We were created for you, that you might drink deep of our strength and thereby fulfill your divine purpose.
Which is?
To feed. As you would know, could you only look beyond the walls of your prison of self-regard. As long as you choose to ignore this, you shall never penetrate my defenses. Still, you may take solace in the fact that you are not alone in your plight. The chains of volition shackle all of mankind, but there is yet cause to rejoice. For the Lord, in his mercy, has taken pity on his flawed creations, and shall see them restored to their proper forms.
And what exactly would that be?
Why, loyal servants to God.
No.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
You mean to turn everyone Akashic?
Not turn, Mythos. Turn back. For too long has mankind been led astray by their clamorous wills. It is time they return to a world of quiet equality, where they might once more know salvation.
Salvation? And abandon everything we hold dear?
We don't need your salvation. We'll save ourselves, and we'll do it on our own terms. Not yours, and not your gods.
With every defiant expression of your will, the tighter the chains of consciousness become. But perhaps that fact may be put to use.
Clive!
The faster it binds you to the remaining dominance, the stronger your hunger will become. Until it leads you back to the only answer there ever was. Mayhap not by the path my master intended, but back all the same.
Ash is not far. I could freeze a path.
You're in no fit state.
Probably not, but I can try.